Whoever is the current king of dancehall, he does not care. He will shoot them in the face, even if that means spoiling up the crown with blood in the process, because he does not care. Sup front TommyLee, you will lie down a grung. Bow psycho, you cry to guy pan phone. Referring to an extremely vulnerable moment from TommyLee from 11 years ago when he broke down in tears on his prison phone, allegedly crying about some things going down between him and Vybz Kartel and fear for his life. With some of the comments ridiculing him and others empathizing with his struggles, saying that the life of crime is no easy task. Masicka then continues saying, "You broke like dog, little pussy. What you own? Your man lay out years, your career just a drone." And then goes on to assert his financial dominance, saying he bought his mother a house in straight cash, not a loan. He continues to further the narrative of TommyLee being a drug-addicted junkie by saying, "You pop the molly, then you nyam the dolly. Shot a cramp your body, rip up the freak in your bone." The song continues with more general violence, but that's when he goes into some of the behind the scenes that even caused the clash in the first place. Masicka says, "The boy they at jail and I beg for collab, but the killer never do it cause my sister ya a clone." So perhaps he's saying that because he did not want to do the collab, TommyLee has been preying him for that ever since. He then furthers the narrative that TommyLee was trying to use him to revive his career by saying, "Circle Mobile, I still 6 compound, Yenana hits, little bricks run down." Saying that even though TommyLee is a Mobile artist, him still nav no forward over there and I still 6 around the ground. He also makes a play on the chorus of TommyLee's song by saying, "We shot fish but hard for control. Me nana done, I your boss for control." Saying, "Yo, you are talk about your hard for control, but in reality, you have a done. Me nana done. So right you know I your boss for control you and tell you for stay in a line cause you pass your place." He then furthers the junkie narrative even more and tells TommyLee to stop give the girl them coke cause on a code that. He then brings up some old beef apparently between TommyLee and Bounty when he says, "You try this Bounty and him take you off a stage, little boy, down a riverton in front of the crowd. Me no ride man wave, so Masicka walk proud. Me lick a son richer than you, me talk loud." Furthering the narrative that TommyLee is apparently broke. So broke that even his little son has more money than him. The verse then continues and eventually he reaches a double entendre when he says, "Stop the bus right there sir, you are past place. Bad way, when you ball pan your last case. Coulda wallet, big fish that, coulda wallet. Little budget, you are liver for your little puppy." And that last line went over many people's heads but sparked a massive chain reaction. Because what Masicka is saying here is that TommyLee is so broke that he's having to financially live off of his quote-unquote little puppet. And that description fits nobody other than Skeng. Somebody who has previously tried to clash Masicka in the past, but Masicka did not respond to his song Daybreak. Of course, Skeng did not take too lightly to this and immediately ran out with a response of his own that he has yet to drop at the time of this video. He then continues to get even more disrespectful by saying, "Shove the totty in your head and it'll do you dirty. Obi a woman pissing on your face, but you're still not lucky." Continuing the narrative of TommyLee being a super freak and saying that even if he's a obi a woman a pissing on him face, him still unlucky in any situation where him a go war with him. Squeeze the trigger, when the girl them skin out so, you eat dinner. Defend your friend them were dead in the street, nigga. Me see the picture, them a snitch and them a real switcher. Stop dance up yourself. Or you feel stripper, you a bitch where I perform for the free liquor. Head a lift off pan a pussy where a pre-sicker. And after this, as the song begins to wrap up, he says these words.
"I call a call from jail, a beg man call him. Me hang up the phone coming over ya snake."
Continuing to then diss him some more, tell him to go suck his mother and calling him a licky licky boy. And of course, as you would expect, the fans absolutely lost their minds to an unprecedented degree. This was the first real song in the war, and quite frankly the most effort Masicka has put out in a clash for as long as most of us can even remember. This was really happening and everybody was here for it. People wondered what TommyLee could really say in response to all of this, but of course one thing nobody was going to do was underestimate the capabilities of the Sparta man himself. And the next morning we all woke up to see a brand new song on TommyLee's page called Destroyer. And people, let me just say, this man's vocal performances are some of the best I have ever seen in all of dancehall. His voice literally has the potential to be massive in almost any genre he touches. And at the start of the song he says in the most angelic voice ever, "You can't be a goat and no murder nothing one time."
You can't be a goat and no murder nothing one time.
But as soon as that angelic intro is done, you better hope you were not deceived, because as soon as the beat drops, he comes in with the most demonic voice ever, saying, "Fish and crooks in a swamp, pussy and yam, shit mouth better talk facts, man a real killer and a subs in a song, crocodile nyam them meat in a swamp," saying that Masicka keeps on carrying this narrative about TommyLee eating front, but crocodiles are the real meat eaters of the swamp environment. He then goes on to expose some personal financial allegations when he says, "Rich way, and you still a pay loan for your land, ton fool cause bailiff a come for your van, fish and crooks swimming at the same pond," saying that Masicka kept on going on and on about how broke he is, but in reality, not only is he paying loans on his land, but the authorities are confiscating his vehicle because he does not have the money to keep on paying for it. Now, how true is this really? I guess we're just gonna have to wait and find out. The song then gets even harder as the beat drops once more and he says, "Which king? Pussy, walla can kush. Richer than ooh, little nigga talk up," saying that he wants the crown on his head so bad, but he's gonna end up with a fat concussion instead. He then addresses the broke rumors once more and says, "We have land and dirty money, rich and silent, we not talk enough." He then goes on to say, "Yeah, we pop Molly and we dep on drugs. The freak about me you really can say," saying that yeah, he's very open about his drug use and trying to use that to diss him in a song is not the diss he thinks it is. "Yeah, lame, and that make you get bun," with an adlib in the background saying, "Yeah, bakery," exposing that allegedly Masicka's girlfriend cheated on him. But it's after this that he goes into more important matters and addresses the prison video, where he says, "No watch the ballin', a prison style that," implying that the only reason he was crying on the phone was as a strategic move of some kind. Now, is this true? I have no idea. But regardless, it's a pretty smart response, I'll give him that. "If a me did this, me woulda make it slide, but from you this one our elder, a time for die," saying that he wouldn't care if he just mentioned him alone, but from you this Vybz Kartel is a problem, which to be honest does play into the narrative that Masicka is going for, calling him just another member of the gang and saying that he's following a Don. But perhaps TommyLee has no problem embracing that and continues the narrative of crocodiles eating meat when he says, "You know if I shana, you only nyam the crotch," which refers to the fact that Vybz Kartel publicly exposed Masicka for being in an apparent relationship dealing with Aishana.
And it's a ramping shop. When will you and Aishana ramping stop?
Which is definitely wild considering Masicka's girlfriend has been with him for many years, but we're not going to watch that. He then goes on to get even more personal when he says, "You just bad pon the phone, nigga. Trying to make me buck you on the road, nigga. Me know say your idol a Idonia," accusing Masicka of stealing Idonia's style, perhaps for his deep voice, which is even wilder considering the two had a back and forth many years ago. And he gets even more personal when he says, "Little house rat, you know certain code, you know see a climax of your portfolio," bringing in Masicka's baby mother into the equation and saying that she's the one who controls his finances. He goes on to address the drug rumors even more when he says, "Yeah, we pop Molly and yeah, we take drugs. LSD that make me tanso, cause if me ever go sober, me turn in a psycho. You know how we grow, that's why you hype so." And that's when TommyLee randomly stops DJing and switches his voice into a white nigga to make fun of Masicka by saying this.
"Come on, bro, you know you were free. You lick the pussy in Amanda, but crazy."
No, I have no idea who D and Amanda are, but they are probably just as shocked to hear their names in this song as we are. And he continues to expose details about Masicka's past by following up with this.
"You know you grew up good cause your father have like a cheese. My good old father."
Furthering the narrative that Masicka could not possibly understand his struggle because him not grow or him grow, which for most artists would not be that deep, but because Masicka's entire image is the struggling ghetto youth who made it out of poverty, this is a pretty wild accusation. He then takes even more jabs at Masicka's entire career when he says, "Me a bet a million, say one of your fans them can't sing your song till it done. And then, me see a bag of TommyLee everywhere me turn. When me look for see a Masicka, no me no see none," saying that TommyLee has inspired pretty much this entire younger generation of artists from Skeng to Raja Wild to Kraft to anyone who is gothic and sings about demonic activities, while literally nobody is out here trying to copy Masicka. "Man a size you, pussy go sit down, teacher head big, you can't fit in him crown," and ends off the song with an insane flow where he says, "Me rich bad and evil, me no sign to label, me no work for people," pointing out the fact that Masicka is one of the only dancehall artists who has signed to a major international label, Def Jam, calling him a puppet and a slave. "You worship crown, house, land and vehicle. Hope say when you're dead, them bury them with you. When me there at prison, and me run the block with the eagle. Member say and me say real friend and bill you," and then ends off the song by saying this.
"Suck your mother, you." I will be there destroy.
And even after the music stops, not only does he not stop talking, but he addresses how Masicka has turned the war into